men like unconditional love. So they want to be accepted for who they are, their very core, not because of what they do or what they have. Most times, in fact, when you go home and say, "Oh, I want to get married," you introduce your partner. In fact, in the regular setting, when people are about to get married and they introduce their partner to their families, if you introduce the man, the first thing they ask is, "What does he do?" If you introduce the woman, most times they say, "Oh, she's so pretty, so well behaved, so well brought up." So men have been trained to always do before they're accepted. So for a man, the kind of love he needs from his wife is that acceptance. Not necessarily accepting bad behavior, but accepting who he is so that he's comfortable enough and is given a foundation of security where he can be himself without fear of rejection. So men, vote.
Okay. Hope you have told your partner. Number 2 for the guys, the kind of love women like. Women like passionate love. Passionate love. One of the complaints women we have with men is that men are very, lethargic when it comes to romance or family life. She wants passion. She's created for passion. This is why if you refuse to talk to her willingly, you will talk to her by argument. Because you must talk to her. And the only time she gets some emotion out of you is when you are arguing. She would like to get those emotions normally when there's no trouble going on. So be a passionate lover. She still wants you to pursue her. Women enjoy being pursued. So have some passion. Because for us as men, because we are project-minded, once we have won this woman, we just log out, move to other projects. You just think you need to keep pursuing her. She wants to know you are still interested. If she's somewhere, pursue her there. If she goes out and you've not spoken to her in a bit, call her to check on her that you're missing her. All right? If you say, why are you calling me? Don't say, I'm calling because I couldn't find the... No. Say, I'm just missing you. I wanted to hear your voice. How far with the salon? Are you almost done? Okay, we're missing you. Come home soon. And we're even looking for... That's how you do it. You don't start with what you're looking for. Okay? So she wants passionate love. So do you still look into her eyes? Do you still tell her you love her? Do you still admire her body? Do you still admire her soul? Do you still admire her mind? She needs passion. All right? She needs passion. Don't just allow things be dry because of the troubles of this life. All right? The troubles will always be there. But give some attention, some emotion, all right, to your wife. She needs passionate love, yes.
Okay, and then men, on the other hand, need what we call respectful love. Okay? They want you to acknowledge their decisions, acknowledge their values, their boundaries. The thing about men is that respect is not respect until the man feels respected. Because I hear a lot of women say, oh, by respecting, what does he want? But for a man, you have to consider 3 things when you're dealing with him. Your tone, first of all. The timing of your conversation, whatever you're saying to them, or whatever you're doing. And the attitude. Sometimes what you are saying, no. All the time, what you are saying is correct, ladies. But it's the tone you're using. You're talking to him like you're talking to a child. You are correcting him as if you're correcting your child. The timing too is off. You have to read the room. Sometimes it's not the time. Let it go. You can have that conversation later. And then some other times it's the attitude. It's the way you even said what you said. It's not that he doesn't know that what you're telling him is correct. It's the way you're saying it. So for a man, respect is not respect until he feels respected. You have to respect a man on his own terms, not on yours. And you see, the thing about the Bible is that the Bible kind of explains, when it talks about submission, I think that we've taken the argument to the wrong side. When the Bible explains what submission is, it doesn't really talk about obedience. That's not really where the Bible is going. Let's look at it in Ephesians 5:33, and I'll read you the Amplified Classic Version. It says, however, let each man of you, without exception, love his wife as being in a sense his very own self. Where I'm going is with the women. It says, and let the wife see that she respects and reverences her husband. Now, if you don't know what that means, it expands it. It says that she notices him, that she regards him, that she honors him, that she prefers him, that she venerates and esteems him, and that she defers to him, praises him, loves and admires him exceedingly. If you look at all those things, you realize that it's not necessarily an issue of obedience. It's more about value. It's more about worth, the worth you place on your husband. That you notice those little times when he's not in the mood, when he's down, that you praise him, that you veneration almost talks of worship. It's adoration, that you adore your husband. He wants to feel adored in his own home. So there are two things I always say to women. Don't speak to your husband rudely in public or in private. Never raise your voice at your husband. Because women like me to simplify it, so I'm going to simplify it for you. Never speak to your husband rudely in public or in private. Never speak about him rudely in public or in private. The first one is don't do it to his face. The other one is don't do it behind his back. Don't do it with people that are close to you. It might be a joke to you, but you see, disrespect is infectious. Once you disrespect your husband to your family, they'll follow suit naturally. So men want respectful love. It's not just I buy him a beef side, but how do you treat him? How do you speak to him? Do you treat him like he's your child? Do you talk down at him in front of the children just because you think you know better? That's where submission really kicks in. Where you know that you may be fast at making the decision, but you still allow him lead.
All right.
So men, on a scale of 1 to 5,
Give your wife signal.
let the wives know.
Number 3 for the guys, women need what I call jealous love. Jealous love. Now, this is not the same as jealousy or insecurity. But why I call it jealous love is because she needs to know you are still jealous over her, not jealous of her. But in terms of that, you are still protective somehow of her. She still wants to know that you think she is so beautiful that you're going out. I don't want people to be toasting you. I don't want this. Your figure is still showing. This your cloth is tight. From a more positive point of view, she needs to know she's still attractive. She needs to know. We saw in the Bible Sarah was still hot at almost 100 years old, but the secret to that was the jealous love that Abraham had. Abraham felt she was the hottest thing in the world.
For men, men need prioritized love. And by that, I mean that they need to know that you prioritize them above all others. Even the children. Maybe I should say this. Especially the children. Because I notice that a lot of couples have issues when the woman is pregnant. All of a sudden, the man is no longer important. Everything is about her baby. Everything's about her baby. And you see, the man is disconnected from that relationship because you and baby are having an internal relationship and the man is on the outside. So when the baby kicks, you have to invite him to be a part of that for him to connect with that. When the baby puts their knee somewhere, you are the one that knows that you rub, don't do that to mommy. That intimacy is building. But the man feels excluded. Now it becomes even worse when the baby is now born. When the baby is born, you know that the baby needs you. You are thinking your husband can fix his food. He doesn't need me to give him a bath. He doesn't need me to change him. But at that point in time, most men become withdrawn, and worst case, they even cheat. And because I'm an infidelity recovery specialist, I've noticed that this happens around that period. That's when most people start to experience that kind of infidelity happening. So you have to become intentional about carrying your husband along and be intentional about making sure he knows that his priority, even though the children need you or other members of the family need you.